Alright guys, so for this video I want to talk about Gordon Ryan and how he has become a complete and total sellout for Derek Moneyberg and is seemingly one of the only mainstream figures that is still associating with him to this degree, and I do want to take some credit for that, okay? Not all the credit, obviously, but we over here on this channel, we're just absolutely relentless in our pursuit to show that this guy was not just a fake black belt, but also a scammer. I mean, the pressure was astonishing that we put on Mr. Tummyberg over here. But so Gordon 22 has decided to go full steam ahead on the Derek Moneyberg train, and honestly, I think we all know why. Okay, it's to pay for his girlfriend who likes a different kind of train, but to pay for her legal fees, because apparently she is an unhinged drunk driver who evades police with a concealed weapon. So she's basically the female, I think female John Jones, and I think Gordon should be getting on the phone with ICE and trying to get her deported, if I'm being honest. But so in the last week or something like that, Gordon has just completely given his Instagram to Derek Moneyberg, posting joint posts trying to sell his scam course, as well as even doing meetups with a bunch of neurodivergent individuals that actually bought the course. And since Gordon has almost 1 million followers on Instagram, there will be, without a shadow of a doubt, at least some of his fans that get scammed by this. Okay, and I've got a serious problem with that. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? He is scamming his own fans. He's also been trying to clickbait on his YouTube channel with a video called Derek Moneyberg Exposed, which is basically just a video of them sucking each other off for 25 minutes or whatever. So what I want to do in this video is kind of go over that because I thought it was just absolutely fucking hilarious. Okay, so let's get into the clips.
This is Derek Moneyberg reminding you that my MMA gym is nicer than your whole life. But it doesn't have to stay that way. You choose to be better. You choose to learn more. You choose to earn more. You could choose to have a better life. When I wanted to learn more and have better outcomes in life, I found a whole list of coaches, dozens of elite coaches, 5-time world champion. These are just one little liners, 5-time world champion, light heavyweight champion, 2-time champion, greatest submission grappler ever, the most humble man of all time, right here, Gordon Ryan. When people doubt that humble part, by the way, if you were 10% as good as him, you would not be as humble as he is. He actually is quite humble. They'd have to know how great you are to understand your true humility. You ever think about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what the fuck was that? I mean, this opening without any context, to me anyways, just looks like 2 special ed kids playing dress up or something. But also, I've got to point out, this guy's mats are completely unused, okay? They are fucking pristine. They all look brand new. So yeah, your MMA gym looks nicer than our whole lives or whatever it was you said. But it's because you don't fucking use them. I mean, this is just a spare bedroom with some mats laid down, for crying out loud. And I'm gonna be honest, the fact that the writing on the wall of all the fighters he has supposedly trained with isn't centered drives me absolutely fucking insane. Okay, and you know what? The 10% body fat still gets me to this day. This guy should be wearing a sports bra. I mean, it should be illegal to walk around not concealing those puppies. He looks like that Philoctetes guy or from Hercules or whatever the fuck his name is. Now, as I mentioned, this was the opening and immediately the dick sucking starts. Now, what I find funny about this is, especially these 2 guys, as much as they claim everyone that criticizes them or whatever are just haters and are motivated by hate and all the rest of it, it's all they can fucking think about is what other people say about them online, which will get brought up plenty of times throughout the course of this video. But the way Gordon said yeah to that question was just so woe is me. Everyone hates me, but I'm so awesome and no one thinks about how humble and great I really am. This is just fucking sad. But anyways, let's keep going.
I think humility is an important thing. And I make a joke when I walk in here. It's true. The best jokes are true and also funny. But
All right, now I do want to say I actually agree with Mr. Tummyberg on that point. The best jokes are often funny and true, which is why it's funny when we call you Tummyberg because you got a big old gut, or when I say you look like Ron Jeremy and Harvey Weinstein fucked and had a kid, because you do look like that. Now, that being said, he's going to go on to tell no joke, and I'm not fucking joking, okay? He's not going to tell a single joke.
It's really hard to learn something new if you think you know everything. And, you know, when I wanted to get good at business, I made sure that I went to the best schools that I could go to. I found good mentors, people that were older than me, that were doing better than me. And I find a way to make myself useful to them that they'd be willing to share a little knowledge and a little wisdom to help banish some of my ignorance. And I did that so much in my business life and with such great success that when I wanted to learn about MMA, when I wanted to learn, you know, grappling, striking, etc., I asked Jake Shields if he would help me with some grappling. And then over time, there, you know, I had many other UFC champion. Gordon's best in the world ever at what he's done. Gilbert Burns is multi-time champion in jiu-jitsu, etc. And we just go down the list, you know, Royce Gracie, Andre Arlovsky, Frank Mir has the most submissions in heavyweight history, you know, Chuck Liddell, so on and so on and so on. 5-time world champion boxer, Paulie. Shout out to Kyle for that matter. Kyle helped me so much with, you know, wrestling and
Kyle's
jiu-jitsu thing.
super good at wrestling.
Yeah, very good. So I wanted to find the people that were some of the most talented people and the best performers ever in their art, so they could help, again, banish some of my ignorance and do better. And, you know, there's a reason Valentina right now, 10-time champion at UFC.
What the fuck was that? Did you guys hear that? This guy just said Valentina is a 10 times champion at UFC. I mean, I've got a serious problem with that. Who the fuck says at UFC? This sounds like something that someone who knows not a thing about the sport would say, which is absolutely fucking hilarious, considering this guy wants everyone to believe he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well as almost a black belt in Kempo karate or whatever, which he claims isn't really Kempo but is MMA striking, but they're just calling it Kempo to go through the belt system at UFC. I mean, that is just pathetic. Do you guys understand what I'm saying to you? How ridiculous that just was.
You're gonna have to make a decision in your life. Are you gonna settle for mediocre results, which is what most people do. Most people stay in the average. 50% are below average. And I would argue the next 30 to 40%, you know, they're not doing so much better. You might call that upper class, you might call that, or they say middle class.
Would you take a look at that gut swaying back and forth? And why is he standing like this? It's a very feminine stance he's got going on over here. I mean, the guy is shaped like a fucking lollipop when he does that and crosses his legs together. It's truly astonishing.
You could choose to learn more and earn more. And going back to that humility part, like when I have those thoughts, I'm like, oh, it's really hard to learn more if you think you know everything. And, you know, when I ask your advice, and maybe you'd share some of those comments of like, if I ask your opinion, maybe I show you how I'm executing a movement at this time, or how I'm, you know, how I behave in a particular position, and I ask your opinion about it. I mean, some of the best feedback you give me is really quite critical, you know?
Yeah, and it's even goes beyond that. Like even today, like you have your logo, you know exactly what you want. We got some we got some product testing. We got some shirts, some rash guards. We got a jersey, and one of the shirts were double-sided. And he's like, "What do you think about the double siding?" And he was like asking me my opinions on it. And then we talked about it a little bit, and we said that, you know, maybe there should be like a, you know, Moneyberg right across the shoulder blades in the back like a jersey. And in 5 minutes, he just asked one simple question, and we had like a whole new design for a T-shirt that he's been making for years. So just like little inquiries like that, like make all the difference.
I mean, what the fuck? Gordon 22, okay? Gordon the Cuck Ryan is just glazing Moneyberg over a t-shirt design where they came up with the most original design I've ever heard, by the way, to be fair. Name across the shoulder blades like a jersey. I mean, that truly is groundbreaking stuff right there. But also, what the fuck? It takes him years to design these things. It's a gold coin with a face that very loosely, by the way, resembles his own on it. Like if he was maybe 100 pounds lighter or something like that. It looks like the backside of a fucking loony Okay, and this guy's trying to take credit for this. I mean, that's ridiculous, but let's keep going.
December 1st, which happens to be a Monday, happens to be Cyber Monday. On December 1st, Gordon and I are going to do a live web training. We're going to teach you a lot of the structures that we use that helped us be more successful, how to earn better coaches, how to earn better teachers, how to earn our way in a room where there's higher value people and belong there, so you can be engaging in the best practices with the best people, and learning the best things and living your best life. Now, success is not for everyone, and it may not be for you. If you're okay with mediocrity, don't come. You're probably already an expert at it. You probably know more about mediocrity than Gordon or I combined. Don't come if that's you. What do you think they should do right now?
Click that link.
Click the link.
All right, so I just wanted to point out how unbelievably happy Gordon looks here. I would imagine this is the exact look on his face while he's sitting in the corner watching, okay? But I just wanted to show you that he is absolutely trying to help Moneyberg sell his scam course to his fans, which to me is kind of gross. I mean, this guy pretends like he's an extremely moral person with values and whatnot, meanwhile is standing here helping a scammer scam his own fucking fans. This is the guy who's talking about what should be done to politicians who scam the public on Instagram, which, listen, they should be criticized. Now, I don't know that you should be advocating for what Gordon was advocating for, at the very least, not publicly, but the point is not that they should or should not be criticized or whatever. The point is, he is all high and mighty when talking about that issue while standing next to a guy doing an ad read for a scam course, as well as posting it all over his own social media to try and get his fans to fucking buy it. And he's trying very hard to push this. Again, we know why though, okay? It's because he's got to pay for his immigrant girlfriend's lawyer, when if he was consistent, you know, he should just be advocating for her deportation. But that's okay, let's keep going.
One that I'm proud of from the university degrees is University of Chicago. This is the #1 business school in our country. And yeah, it's difficult to go there. Everybody wanted to go there. So at the time I was there, it's ranked higher than Harvard or Wharton or any other university. And people like to say mean things on the internet, but this was the Dean's Prize for building the Chicago Booth brand. At that time that I had done more for the school, and in their estimation, they gave me that award, that I had done more to help the school's reputation and the brand building of the reputation than any other student there that year. So,
Wow, that is absolutely crazy. Okay, did you guys see that? Gordon Ryan has on 4 watches, which is absolutely fucking hilarious. And I'm gonna be honest, I can't tell if he's being serious or if it's some sort of inside joke. You know, kind of like when the whole B team wore Chicago Bulls jerseys, okay? Because Gordon is a cuck. So it is very fitting that they are talking about Chicago right now, and I do wonder if that gave him some sort of like flashbacks or something. But also, I can't imagine how fucking awful it would be to just walk around some weirdo's house that does look like if we were in a different place, in a different time, he was wearing different attire, maybe like medieval times or something like that, he would try and molest you, okay? While he shows you all of his cool things and accomplishments and shit, okay? I mean, this is something you do with your grandpa as a kid, but either way, let's keep going.
I laugh with some of the people that come here. If you had to choose, would you rather have that fancy degree that says that you learned something, you went to the #1 business school, or would you take the $50 million in revenue? Yeah.
Easy choice.
Yeah, pretty easy choice.
I have similar experiences on just on various, Instagram, YouTube. People make fun of me for being a high school dropout, which I'm not, but I am a college dropout. And I'm like, could you imagine, like, you're talking to me, like making fun of me for being a college dropout, and I'm more successful in every facet of life. Like, I have more money, I'm the greatest of all time in what I do. I'm like, imagine just getting outperformed by a so-called card. Like, how embarrassing must that be for you?
All right, now I guess it's no wonder that these guys get along, okay? Because they are both completely obsessed by what other people say and think about them on the internet. Imagine being so successful, but still being so insecure that you seethe and maul and argue with shadows who aren't even in the fucking room with you about how successful you are. I mean, it is absolutely fucking pathetic, okay? But also, I do want to say, personally, I wouldn't make fun of Gordon Ryan for being a college dropout. I think that's silly. I would make fun of him for being a cuck. But in all seriousness, I think the issue I have with what he said is that having money doesn't make you intelligent, like, inherently. There's a lot of retards, as he said, that do have money. And yes, he is very successful in jiu-jitsu, has made a bunch of money doing so. But just because you are successful in one aspect of life doesn't give you credence or make all of your opinions valuable in other aspects. Okay, do you know what I mean? Like, just because you were able to monetize jiu-jitsu and are very intelligent in that regard doesn't mean you aren't a fucking retard in other disciplines. And that goes for everyone. So someone could still call you a retard, and even if you have money, it could still be true. But I just find it hilarious that these guys are completely motivated and constantly thinking about what quote-unquote haters on the internet say and think. Yet Moneyberg tags me in all of his shorts, and Gordon is constantly talking about it as well. They always make claims about jealousy and things like that, but to me it seems like they're the insecure ones. But either way, let's keep going.
And I learned the most from the people that actually did something. You know, I probably had plenty of feelings of, lacking or not good enough, or wanted to do better, wanted to be better, partially from my own competitive nature, partially from like growing up poor, being in a environment and being like, wow, man, if I can't outperform these people, like this is where I belong, you know?
Yeah.
And I first had that thought at Walmart. I remember being like 18, and my last job, I worked at Walmart. I was 18 years old. I was unloading the trucks and stocking the shelves. And the other people that are doing that, third shift in the winter and I didn't even have a job. It was just seasonal help. I didn't even have an official job. I was just hired as seasonal help to unload the trucks for, Thanksgiving and Christmas. I thought, wow, like everybody here is a up, including myself, I thought everybody here is a up. And if I can't outperform these people, then that's exactly where you belong. And so, that was very motivating to me. That I thought, all right, I got to get myself in college. So I did. And I thought again, like, these aren't the smartest people. I can outperform these people. And if I can't outperform these people, this is where I belong. And I had that thought the whole time, I had that thought ever since then through my life, since age 18. And then, that helped me to go through those stepping stones. I thought, wow, like that's a big leap from high school dropout, working on Walmart, unloading the truck third shift. You got a lot of different situation, a lot of different circumstances now.
All right, now I know this is boring, but stay with me, okay? Do you understand? Now, I included this clip because it is an example of Derek lying to you and Gordon's audience to try and make himself more relatable to the people he wants to buy his course. He did not grow up poor. I don't even know if I believe that he worked at Walmart, but Derek Moneyberg, as we have covered in other videos, with deeds and everything, but also even in just the last video, when Derek went on Helwani's show, he got asked about how many properties he inherited, because it is public knowledge that he inherited 5 houses. He said he didn't fucking remember. Imagine inheriting so many homes all at once that you don't even fucking remember. So all this to say, obviously he did not grow up poor, okay? He's lying, and Gordon the cuck, Gordon 22, is just sitting there watching, which at least he does have experience in, I guess.
Think about some of these, the little collection of belts. I got a pile of belts over here. I just thought the same damn thing here when I started playing with jiu-jitsu. I should have bought a white belt. I never had a white belt.
I saw that. And you're, I'm going to compliment the color matching, but the alignment is a little off here, so we could work on that.
Work on that. Like I said, we could do better. It's always an opportunity to do better and be more. Yeah, there's the internet had a lot of fuss about that. Many of the best people in the world, including the greatest of all time, says, oh, yeah, that makes sense what he did. But a lot of people on the internet say, you can't, it took me 15 years. It took me 15 years to get my brown belt. You can't have a black belt in 3.5 years. And then their feelings hurt. Like, no, maybe you can't have a black belt in 3.5 years, or 3 years and 7 months is what it took me. And by the way, I was working on other MMA, and these are signed by Lyoto Machida and Glover Teixeira under a Kempo karate system. So it's
Wow, okay, so that's crazy. Derek Moneyberg admitted that he never bought, meaning purchased, a white belt. That's insane, and I don't care if that was sarcasm, okay? Like he said earlier, the best jokes are true and funny. But then also, he kind of disproves his own bullshit, because he essentially claimed he was able to get his black belt that fast, not only because of the coaching staff or whatever, but the amount he was training as well, and how he became obsessed and was training in jiu-jitsu like 5 hours a day. Now he's saying, trying to one-up everyone. Well, while I was doing that, I was also progressing in other aspects of martial arts, and I just find it absolutely fucking hilarious that you see him with his very rotund third trimester gut saying things like, well, maybe you can't get a black belt that fast, but I sure can. Now, I also want to say it wasn't even the black belt that was the actual issue. If he was some nobody that wasn't trying to be or being a public figure, no one would know and no one would fucking care. The point is that he is a public figure, and he's using this to legitimize himself to fans of martial arts who are of lower IQ. Okay, and I don't mean all fans, I mean the ones that he is targeting. They are dumb as fuck and vulnerable and retarded, and he's trying to sell them his scam course. This is why he got those 50 million in revenue plaques. The guy has taken his scam course and gone from audience to audience trying to sell his shit. He did it with the online dating market or whatever the fuck. He's now at martial arts, and Gordon is like the only one left helping him do this. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying to you? But I do also find it absolutely fucking hilarious that, again, he is clearly obsessed with what critics say while constantly trying to act like it's the other way around.
Surefire ways of saying, okay, this 100% works because I've seen it work at the highest levels. I know this guy isn't going to me. And then you just learn from the best guys right from the beginning and get to where you want to be in the shortest amount of time possible, is preferable.
We should address that in a little more detail. It's like that shortest time possible. When somebody's a critic about that type of thing, like, oh, you did the thing too fast, it doesn't count. To be like, well, when I made my first $1 million in my 20s, should I wait until my 40s instead because it made somebody else uncomfortable? Should I waited 15 years to process information that I could have processed in less than 4 because it made some guy uncomfortable? Like, these things never made sense to me. It's like, there's a sort of a common theme that you and I think about of like, well, just do better, like be better, do better, earn your spot. Like, and it ties into what I was saying about Walmart and about here. It's like, well, if you're really better, if you're smarter than those people, it's really easy to prove that. Like,
Man, I hate when this guy thinks he's making a point, and because Gordon likes to just sit in the corner and watch, doesn't push back at all. To be fair, not just Gordon, but anyone that sits there while this fucking troll bridge just yaps, comparing a black belt to making $1 million, and should you have waited longer or whatever the fuck he was saying, is just disanalogous, okay? Your bank account is an objective metric. There's a number there that can be seen and proven if need be. When it comes to your prowess in martial arts, typically speaking, that happens through competition or even just a live roll or spar if we're talking about striking, something that you have refused to show. So, I mean, we can all see the plaques to do with your business revenue and things like that, but nobody has seen you fucking roll. Hello? It's not that difficult, and it's not analogous. And also, motherfucker, you Philoctetes looking motherfucker, it's not just about processing info, it's about being able to apply it, okay?
In entrepreneurship, I've made $100-ish million as an entrepreneur. I've made tens of millions of dollars in my business investments in the stock market. I made tens of millions of dollars in real estate investments. So I've made well over 100 million and kept a lot of that as my net worth. If that's something that you're interested in, I could help you with that. If you want to be best in the world of jiu-jitsu, You got to find a guy like Gordon, and you got to make a best use of his time to spend time with you.
What the fuck was that? Did you guys see that? Gordon Ryan just went like full anime girl there for a second. He looked like Harry Styles, I think. Was that the guy that wore the dress or whatever? Either way, I mean, that was something else. Okay, honestly, I'm a little concerned for Gordon Ryan after seeing that. But so anyways, Gordon Ryan has become Derek Moneyberg's #1 sellout to pay for his illegal girlfriend's lawyer because she is a menace to society. It's absolutely pathetic in my opinion, especially since he's about the last one still hanging around this guy, and honestly, it's probably in large part due to what drives them and what they think about the most, which is people on the internet who think they're fucking douchebags, okay? But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that good shit. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.